Right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. If you're joining us for the webinar, please hold on a few minutes. I understand there's been some login issues, so we're going to wait like maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then we're going to jump right into our social media webinar for you guys. So see you in a bit. All right, it is just about 2 after the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome. It is September 29th. It is a great day. The sun is shining. It is National Coffee Day. Great day to celebrate. Everybody make sure you have a cup of coffee while you're watching this. Sit back, relax, and welcome to the top 5 posts to increase engagement and leads. I will be your host for the day. I am Anthony Gott. I'm the director of social media. We also have the head of marketing helping me out today, Leslie. She'll be moderating the chat. So if you have any questions as we go through this webinar, feel free to type them in there, and then she'll send them to me and we'll discuss them towards the end of the webinar. There's my email as well. After the webinar is over, if you still have some questions, feel free to write that down. Shoot me a quick email. I'm always willing to answer some questions about social media. So what is social media? That is the big question everyone's asking. How did it get here? Why do we have it? But it all boils down to 2 things, really. Cat memes, that everyone knows and loves, and useless information, like stuff we learned in high school that doesn't really matter anymore, like the mitochondria being the powerhouse of the cell. And why does that even matter? I don't know. It doesn't. That's the point. Just kidding, but seriously, what is social media? Like, what does that mean for law firms and businesses? Well, first off, it's the new living room. People don't sit around the TV and go out and discuss things. They go on Twitter, they go on Facebook, they look at political videos like the debate, and then they just sit there and comment at each other for who knows how many days. But they don't really sit around the living rooms to talk anymore. Like whenever they discuss like new things they've seen or that they really enjoyed, they go to social media for that. That's where they go to express some of those opinions. And it's also, for businesses at least, it's the new business card. So people aren't walking to places, they're not driving to places to figure out maybe what that business is about, because Americans are frankly getting lazy. All they want to do is be able to sit on their phone and figure out what's going on in the city, like what's going on locally. If there's a new pizza place that opened up, they're going to search Facebook or Twitter or Google and figure out like what's going on, and then search through Facebook and those social media outlets to figure out why those businesses are doing so well. Sorry, I had a little bug come up on my phone. They're also a great way to connect with your audience. That's what social media has become all about, connection. That's where these new living room conversations come through, and they're great places for businesses to take advantage of. They can connect with their audiences on a one-to-one level, even if it isn't face-to-face. It's still very personal whenever a brand can reach out and communicate with an audience. It's also a great way to promote your firm or promote your small business. It's a great way to showcase like that online business card and say like, hey, here we are, this is what we do, now come talk to us, figure out what's going on. But the major key, like DJ Khaled, though I don't know if you guys have heard about him, but he's all over social media right now. But it's engagement, 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 and that's what this whole webinar is about: engaging with your audience. Because if your audience isn't engaged, there's no reason for them to want to choose to work with your law firm based off of social media, if that's their only parameter they're choosing from. If they're working from social media to go to your site and stuff, if they're not engaging with that content, if they don't believe your content's worthy, they're not going to want to trust you or work with you if that's their first experience with you, or like their second or third. And there's, the couple on their phone like usual, and the the business card that they're not going to see. So on to the first type of post that will help increase that engagement and help bring you in those possible leads from social media: relevant media. And when I say that, it's not just one thing, it's kind of an assortment of things. So like sharing helpful resources is a similar type of relevant media that I would throw out here. If you see content, maybe from New York Times, maybe from Huffington Post related to your practice, like if it was, say you're a divorce lawyer, and you see a great article about a new bill that was passed that would help with same-sex marriage or anything similar, something related to your practice. Sharing that helpful resource will not only instill trust in your audience, but see that you're not just out to get clients, that you really just care about getting good information out to people in your area, in your community. Sharing awards or accolades. This is another great source of relevant media. It's another way to build trust and show off that, hey, we know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about. Because if someone has never encountered your firm before and all they see is the 5-star rating, the top 100 lawyers, that's going to put a pretty good image in their mind, So it'll really, really be engaging types of content. Once they can see that, they can go to your site. They'll see those multiple trust badges on your site and really, really want to engage with you and hopefully complete that next step that we're all looking for, filling out that contact form. Sharing media mentions. This is a kind of a tricky topic because if you are, out in the media, like say you're on TV doing some spots, or if you're on ads and people are commenting on that and they're tagging your firm, let's say on Facebook or Twitter, you're going to want to share that information. Unless it's something that's kind of negative or derogatory, you want to kind of promote the good and see if you can bury the bad, or at least respond to the bad with something that shows off your heart. So like if it is some sort of negative mention, commenting on that and just showing to your audience that you do care, at least what people are saying, and making sure that people aren't wronged, is a great way to showcase that trust and build that engagement, build that audience even further. And if there are no helpful resources, become that news source. Get some content up on your blog. A new bill was passed. A new law is coming up that is being vetoed or something like that, something crazy. People need to know that. And if someone isn't out there putting that information out to the audience, out to people who are, recently divorced or looking for a divorce, you need to be the source out there, because at the end of the day, that's who's going to be pulling in the clients. If another law firm is the first to jump on that information, they're going to be the ones showing that they're the most knowledgeable, because they'll be the first to bring out that information, if that makes sense. So being that news source when it comes to relevant media and some of these blog posts that will really help, the better the lives of some of your future leads or clients, that's where you need to be. And I have a few examples right here. We have Avansat Law, one of our clients. This post is an example of the awards or accolades. He was listed one of the top 3 personal injury lawyers in Atlanta, Georgia by a website. So we went out and promoted that. We boosted this post for $5, and he reached over 1,000 people and had over 51 likes. I'll go into the Facebook ad side of it towards the end of the webinar, but this post did crazy numbers, and all because he was awarded this, this very prestigious award, being one of the top 3 lawyers in Georgia. And another example we have is sharing a helpful resource. So this came from St. Louis Today, and this is a new bill that was passed into law towards the end of August. So Raza Jones went out and posted this, and they reached just about 100 people. And this is just without any sort of Facebook ads, without any sort of help, some sort of boost. She already reached 100 people with quality content that will help better their lives and help develop trust, and even got a like out of it. So as you can see here, there's a lot of benefits to using these 4 types of relevant media. Number 2, behind the scenes. So social media just kind of happened, whether you like it or not. And it's pretty much a wasted opportunity if you don't jump in there and kind of just dive into it and kind of embrace it at this point. It's like the telephone analogy. Like, the telephone was plugged into your office, it's ringing, but no one's willing to answer it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You're not taking full advantage of it. You're missing out on so many possible clients and leads just because you don't, go pick up that phone because it's a little bit scary. So with behind the scenes posts, you can, share a day in the life of what's going on at your law firm, because most people don't know, like, what really goes on in the day-to-day. Is it just seeing clients every day? Is it just stockpiling up information as you're getting ready for a case? Is it all 3? Like, showing this will really, help instill trust, as like I keep bringing up trust because it is a really big factor when it comes to social media, because it's really hard to trust someone you've never met before, and all you have to go on is what they're saying. So sharing this day in the life, showcasing, some of the meetings, maybe not, taking video and explaining everything, but just taking pictures. Anytime there's like a party, like maybe it's one of your partner's birthdays or an anniversary at the office. Stuff like that is what'll bring up a lot of engagement, a lot of likes, and it'll make future leads want to engage with you. It'll make them want to go to your content, go to your site, figure out more about you, and hopefully trust you if they ever need a lawyer. Sharing case results. So if you had a very successful case, snapping a picture with the client, the happy client, will do numbers on social media. It'll be super engaging, and not only that, it will showcase that you are winning. People don't always see those wins unless you put them on your site. But if you don't necessarily want to put that, or if it does, go against some of the bar rules that are out there, putting it on social media is a good way to get around that. And it also shows if it isn't coming from you, if you aren't the one posting that case result, but if one of your clients does do that on social media, share it on your page. There's a lot of Facebook share options. On Twitter, you can retweet and favorite things. And you can just take those results and share them onto your page and showcase, hey, look at all this good work we're doing. And it's another great way to promote your business and promote your firm. And there's not only this, when it comes to behind the scenes posts, we also have a blog at goblackfin.com that has 101 types of social media posts. So there's literally 100 social media posts that will help get you started if some of these posts aren't necessarily what your cup of tea is. I mean, these are just some of the most engaging that I personally have found to be, top of the line. But like I said, if you go to goblackfin.com, there's over 100 posts for you to choose from. Firm news. This is very similar to some of those birthdays and some of those anniversaries, because that is big news. But also, like, if your firm is expanding, if you have a new hire, if you have a new promotion, maybe you're changing location, stuff like that, people want to know, especially if you're changing location. That's super important, because someone may have liked your page maybe 2-3 months ago. They didn't need a lawyer then, but over that course of time, you've moved locations or your number has changed, and then now they can't find you. They only see what's on the Facebook page. They just remembered what happened. They remember they liked you. And if you don't update your page with that news, they'll be going to old places and not being able to find you unless they end up doing the Google search, which hopefully they will. But let's assume they're super lazy. Let's keep them updated. Here's a good example of a behind-the-scenes post posted by one of our lawyers, Seth Gladstein. He went to the Kentucky Justice Association, the state capitol. He was working with some of his friends, and he got several likes. It was a super engaging post where only a $2 boost, half of the reach. You got 80 people to look at this organically just by dropping it down with a little description of what was going on. And you can see it did really well. You got up to 10 likes. And also, here it is, the firm news, sharing whenever your location has been moved. This is a new office location for law office of Andrew M. Lampkin. We promoted it for about 2 weeks with social media posts, and whenever they did move to that office, we asked them to take a picture and showcase to us. That way we can, get them some more engagement on social media. And as you can see there, they had 3 likes aside from liking the page. And that's with a very small audience to start off with. So it's very, very engaging type of content here. And the third type is testimonials. Asking for reviews or testimonials of your clients is obviously going to be the first step if you don't have any, but this type of engagement is huge, huge. So like if you have testimonials on Avo, or if you have them on your site already, taking them and making a nice little graphic out of them, or making a video and posting that on social media will be super engaging, because the best way, I've seen, is referrals. People listen to other people when it comes to these types of things. They're trusted people. So if they see these reviews that are like 10 or 12 reviews that are all positive, they're all singing your praises, why wouldn't they want to choose you? And I put there Testimonial Tuesday just as a type of example, like when you could post those testimonials. That's what we do for some of our clients. It just seems to work out really well. It has a hashtag, so it is pretty easy to share. It also gets a lot more reach with some hashtags. And also client successes. So not only is it sharing the case result, so let's say that case result was a custody battle. So you won custody for your client, and then a few months down the line, they send you a picture saying how happy they are and how happy they were with your service. You can then ask them if it's okay to use it on social media, and if they do say it's okay and it complies with the bar rules, you can share that success. You can share the joy and happiness that you're bringing to help, push those leads down the pipeline to want to choose your firm. And I also have some examples here of what some of these testimonials look like. So this is a testimonial from the client's Avo page, but instead of just taking a screenshot, I went to canva.com. It's a free site. You can create graphics that look just like this or even better for no cost at all. You just have to give them an email, password, and you can log into an account, and you can make lots of very great visual content on social media, because visual content is some of the most engaging content. So as you can see from each of the slides that I just ran back, in each post there was a picture, there was some sort of visual to go along with it. Adding visuals is a huge engagement booster, because you don't want to just look at text all day. Sharing pictures or videos, like in this example here with Bataro Law, he has video testimonials, and these video testimonials are some of the most engaging posts that we've had on his site, because they can watch it natively on Facebook or on Twitter. So these types of visual posts are great for engagement. Next slide. FAQs, frequently asked questions. This is another great type of post. It's a great way to kind of address problems before they're even there. So just straight up answering questions, going out and researching where your audience is. So if you've already set up a page, you've already set up a Twitter account, you can search up some common questions that you think people would be asking about your firms, or just search car accidents, search up auto accidents in your area. And if they have questions, you can just respond to them right there. You can comment on the post. If it's from another page, you can share it onto your page and answer the question. Very similar stuff like that. That way your audience can see that you're active in your community and that you are knowledgeable once again, because the keys here are just to build that trust. With engagement, within your engaging with the audience, you're building that trust, you're building that connection, you're nurturing this client or this future client to want to pick you whenever they need a lawyer. So if it's PI, they're not going to see you until they really, really need to see you. But who are they going to be thinking of? The lawyer they saw on TV once, or the lawyer who's promoting content that they've enjoyed, that they've noticed is very knowledgeable, that has answered their questions. Like, who do you think they're going to choose? You know what I'm saying? Answering a regular FAQ. If you've already seen those FAQs, like if you've already been asked that at the office, someone comes in, they ask you a bunch of questions, and you hear the same thing every single time, create an FAQ about it. So create the answer to that question and post that onto your social media. So put up the question, put up the answer. That way they don't even have to, they know the answer to the problem they didn't even know they had. I threw another example of a type of post you could do is an FAQ Friday, also found in our 101 social media posts blog. But On Fridays, we just go up, we toss out an FAQ from the client. Sometimes we contact them and see if they have any new ones, or we just go straight to their site to pull these from. But we can put them out there, and that's it's probably the second most engaging content out there, aside from the testimonials and some of the behind the scenes posts, because you're answering their problems. Like any problem they might have, it's already being answered. You're solving it before they even know it exists. So you can create, again, with Canva, another great graphic like this one. Very simple, very easy. Drop a red bar, black background, white letters. Boom. You just copy and paste over from your site or from an email you've sent out to clients, or just something in your notes from client meetings that you've had already. And you can just share this on your social media and just watch that engagement grow and watch those leads get nurtured even further. Number 5, events. So if you're out participating in law summits or conventions, going out to some of these events, I'm not too familiar with what events law firms go to, but I know there are industry events. Maybe it's not necessarily about the law, but it's about, just safe driving, stuff like that. Sharing pictures or videos from those events will be super engaging. It'll give people kind of an inside look as to how lawmakers and lawyers kind of get together and figure out some of the bigger issues, the problems they're already having. So like if it is with, let's say texting and driving, that could be a huge issue. If you go to like a court hearing or some sort of public discussion forum for that, discussing texting and driving, showcasing some of the information you learned, or just showing that you're there, that you're with other lawmakers and lawyers, showing that you do want to make a difference, will do crazy numbers on social media and help nurture those leads. Doing a countdown. So if you're hosting some sort of industry event, so like if it is a seminar about kind of the dangers of texting and driving, or some ways you can help parents with kids that are texting and driving that are distracted and whatnot, doing a countdown leading up with like interesting facts or information about what you're talking about could be a great way to build up not only reach and getting the audience talking about your event, but it's also showcasing even more of your knowledge as you're promoting this event even further. Promoting industry-related event, like we just talked about, promoting that with the countdown. And sharing promotions, I know we include that a little bit in the behind the scenes, but I want to dive into a little bit more here, because promotions are a big thing. Like if you have former clients that have worked with the lawyer you've just promoted to like a partner or whatnot, this is a great way to showcase that sort of relationship that they've nurtured. You could contact that former client and be like, hey, we're about to promote so-and-so. Do you have any nice words you think we could use for social media to show off and help, really lift his spirits a little bit more and showcase this huge honor that we have of promoting him to partner? And showcasing that is almost like an extra testimonial. It's like adding another reason why these possible clients should pick you in the end. And also community events. Community events are very, very good. They showcase that you're really active regardless of the sponsorship. So if you're going to a local benefit, like it's a breast cancer walk or a breast cancer run, and you're not necessarily sponsoring it, but you're there, or someone from your firm is there, share it. Showcase that you're there and you're promoting, regardless of if you get sponsorships or if there's any sort of benefit to you. Showcasing that doesn't matter is what will really build that trust that will ultimately convert that client at the very end of the sales funnel. And here's one of our clients, Jack. He went to Harvard University for a convention about DUI defense and stuff like that. He met one of the lawyers for Making a Murderer, that Netflix series. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but we asked him to, he told us about it, and we asked him to share some pictures with us. And as you can see, it had over 30 likes. He had 31 likes. So it's very, very engaging. So we're going to do a quick recap of all 5 types of posts. I know I spoke pretty fast, but my mind was racing. So relevant media, that's the awards, that's the accolades, that's sharing those helpful resources to help build that trust and get that engagement on your site, along with being that news resource if those helpful resources are not out there. Behind the scenes, the behind the scenes types of posts where you're sharing a day in the life of what goes on at your law firm, some of the meetings, taking pictures of them, working with some clients if they're accepting and they were willing to be put on social media, with parties and some of the fun stuff that people want to see. You guys being human. That's actually one of my biggest philosophies. I want to take the lawyer stigma of, hey, I'm the big bad lawyer, I just want money, give me your money, because that seems to be what's going on. There's always some sort of negative stigma with lawyers. I think it might be from the media and like TV and how some of the stuff is portrayed, but O.J. Simpson didn't really help with that. But I want to humanize lawyers. I want to take most of the behind the scenes stuff and bring that to light and showcase, like, lawyers are people too. They still, binge watch Netflix late at night just like the rest of us. So showcasing some of this behind the scenes stuff is really great for law firms. Number 3, testimonials. Going back to your clients, asking for the reviews to put it on your Albo page or site, and then taking those testimonials and sharing them on social media so more people are exposed to some of the good work you're doing and hearing what other people have to say about it, not just what you're saying. FAQs, frequently asked questions. Everyone's familiar with them, but actually getting them up and using them on social media is what's important, not necessarily keeping it on your site, because if it's buried under like a resources page where no one's really going to climb to or dive into, they're just worried about getting like solid information. They're not going to be caught up with looking into FAQs. So bringing that to light on social media straight to the possible client or lead is a great way to do that, because they're not going to find it on their own. Events. So this is like going to your community, doing a breast cancer walk, breast cancer run, being there, taking pictures, showcasing that you're there, and letting your audience know that this is stuff that matters to you. And it doesn't have to be just breast cancer. Like if there's any cause that you're behind, going out and supporting it and showcasing that you are, just as another way to help humanize you and show you that you do care. Along with promotions at the office and industry related events, similar to like a seminar that you're promoting, that you're hosting or one of your colleagues is hosting. And measuring the ROI. Here at Blackfin, we're really focused on ROI, specific results. We don't want to just feed you stuff that doesn't work, that doesn't actually bring in solid numbers and statistical stuff. So we want to show you, I'm going to show you really quickly with a few tools on how to measure your ROI, your return on investment, and see what your social media is really doing for you. So the best way to gauge your ROI at first is simply with the likes and follows, seeing how many people like your page and how many people follow you on social media, on Twitter. It's not the only metric, but it's the very first metrics where you can see up front, like, okay, this is working. People are actually, wanting to look at some of this information. They're not just breezing past it every single day. Reach, retweets, views, etc. Because if someone likes your page and follows you, that doesn't necessarily mean they're looking at your content. But whenever you see like the numbers reached that I had at the bottom of some of those posts, like the 99, the 1,000 people reached, that means that 1,000 people at least saw that post and either clicked on the link or paused for like a second. I think it's in the Facebook algorithm. Like if it's like a 1 or 2 second pause, like someone did see that. It did show up on their news feed. And if it's constantly put in front of someone's face, maybe they don't click on it the first or second time or even the third time, but that fourth time is something that really relates to them personally. That's when you hook them in and they want to see more and more of your content, which will then bring them back and forth to your site. Back and forth to your site. That way they'll start looking at more of your content and then hopefully take that last step to finally contact you. Engagement, likes and comments. The biggest thing about this entire webinar, the engagement side of it, because here is where they're showing you that they are engaged, that they are the ones that want to really connect with you on another level, that they want to take that next step. Oh, and just to clarify, when it comes to likes, in this section compared to the likes at the very beginning of this measuring ROI, when I meant likes/follows, that means likes of your Facebook page, or yeah, no, just your Facebook page. I don't think any other type of social media has likes as a form of measurement for that. But liking your Facebook page is this first bulletin, and this third bulletin is liking of specific posts and commenting on specific posts, because that's an option on Twitter and Facebook to like a post to show like, oh hey, that relates to me, stuff like that. Just to get some extra clarity there, because I know it doesn't really make sense to have likes and likes at the same thing. But yes, engagement is really good, and a great way to actually find out these statistics on Facebook is Facebook Analytics. There are a lot of analytical tools out there that you can pay money for, but Facebook has one of the best analytics tools out right now, and I still use it even though we have a paid analytics tool. Sorry, Jared, that's our boss. But Facebook Analytics is a great tool for measuring the ROI. It gives you likes, it gives you reach, it gives you engagement, the likes, the comments, and you can go back a week, you can go back months, you can find out if someone's been recurringly like liking and commenting, like if they've been consistently doing that. You can even see your boosted posts compared to your regular posts that you haven't been adding Facebook ads to, or sponsoring, or adding money to, or at all. It's very, very great tool. And Twitter Analytics is very similar to that as well. It's not as strong as Facebook, but if you don't want to go out and get that paid analytical tool, Twitter Analytics is also free. It's native in the Twitter client, just like Facebook Analytics is native in the Facebook client. You guys have questions about that. I know we're not talking about the analytics side of it in depth in this webinar, but please feel free to email me. Those are the two biggest ones, at least when it comes to the free tools. I also have a list of quite a few paid ones. If you want to use them for not just Facebook, Twitter, you can use them for LinkedIn and Google Plus as well. But Facebook and Twitter are your big engagement channels. LinkedIn is a more professional channel for colleague to colleague, not necessarily for clients. And that's it for the webinar. I know I kind of sped through it, but if you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask them. He's going to be sending them to me here in a second, and I'll be sending them out to you guys, answering a little bit. And if you do have questions right now or you're not sure if you want to ask your question out now and have it answered right now, you could just email me, Anthony@goblackfin.com. After this is over, I'm always willing to talk about social media. It's kind of what I do every day. So I'm always ready and willing to talk about it at any time. And there's also lots of great information at goblackfin.com. And oh, what just happened? My screen went away. There it is. Hold up, sorry. Goblackfin.com has a great blog post, the 101 social media posts for law firms. And if you're curious just about more digital marketing in general, we also just put out a mid-year marketing trends report for law firms, just to make sure that you're keeping up with what's going on in the digital marketing landscape, not just social media, not just PPC or SEO, all of it. Every aspect of digital marketing, we gave a huge update. It's a massive blog post. There's a lot of information in there. So I'd really take the time to sit down and look at it. It's free. It's on the blog. I think it was maybe 2 months ago, maybe 1 month ago that it was up. So it should be pretty recent if you just click on the blog's link there. But without further ado, let's jump into the first question. Should law firms boost posts? Yes, law firms should boost posts. If you have money to boost every single post, boost it, because it's, as you saw in some of the examples, the engagement was almost doubled just with maybe $5-6 at most. Some you can even do $10. You can engage up to 1,000 people if you have 200 likes and you put $10 on a post. You will reach up to 1,000 people. That's 800 people that don't already like your site that will eventually see your post, your content, because that's just the beauty of Facebook ads. People are saying that Facebook ads will eventually take over PPC ads, and I believe it. It's super targeted, and it's such a huge investment, such a huge return on investment. You're telling me that 800 people seeing your content isn't worth $10? Come on. Law firms should absolutely boost posts every chance you get. I mean, unless it's like something that's like heartfelt, because then it just seems like an ad, and that's not necessarily the best. But if it's good content, like stuff from your blog, stuff from your site that you want people to make sure that they know, boost it. Boost the crap out of it. Okay, should law firms schedule posts? Should they use a scheduler or post on the fly? That's a great question. Law firms should definitely schedule their posts if it's content from their site. They should definitely use a scheduler. Maybe have an intern do this, because social media is a little bit extensive. It's a little bit tedious. You need to take the time to really dive into it. But using a scheduler is a great way to lay out your posts for the week, kind of label out good times to post, and figure out when those optimal times are. So like, let's say you have a whole schedule for like the whole month. One week you're posting in the morning, one week you're posting in the evening, another week it's like midday. When we schedule posts like this, when you set up a scheduler, it's a great way to see what's working and what's not. That's what I've noticed is the main key when it comes to scheduling. Is it's a great way to test social media. For Facebook specifically. Oh, sorry about that. It just keeps switching off on me. I don't know why. But yes, using a scheduling posts, I highly recommend it. Posting on the fly is really good if you see news that's happening live. So like, let's say something in the political debate that happened a couple of days ago really sparked your interest. You had some good notes on it. You had a good way to talk about it, a good form of discussion that isn't necessarily argumentative. That's when it's good to post on the fly. For some of that relevant media, some of the news resources, you being that news resource or sharing the helpful news resource, that's when you want to post on the fly. But don't let the posting on the fly versus the scheduling thing mix you up, because I think it's healthy to have both. Scheduling is important, but posting on the fly, making sure that you are up to date with what's going on, is just as important. Can you repeat the names of the graphics program you use? It doesn't switch off for us. Can you repeat them? Okay, sorry. Oh, it doesn't switch off for you guys. That's awesome. I thought whenever for some reason the whatchamacallit, the Google Slides, like they just went off my screen. It went to my desktop, so I thought you guys were seeing that. But the graphics program that I use is canva.com. It's very user-friendly, super easy to use. Lots of great templates in general already built into Canva for you to grab and pick. And honestly, you can just change out a couple words and you have a great quality image on there for free. And if you do want to spend a little money, they do have like a Canva for work that's like maybe $10 a month, I think. Something very, very small, but they have you have an upgraded amount of templates that they've already put out there that are free for you to use if you put that extra $10 in. So yeah, Canva is a really great tool. But if you are more graphically inclined, then by all means, like, go get Photoshop. If you are good at graphic design, like, I'm not saying to use Canva as a way to because it is easy, doesn't mean that you'll get pulled away from some of the more higher end stuff, because it is really good to have quality visual content on your social media. All right, it looks like that is all for questions. That's it for me. I know it went by really fast. It's supposed to be an hour-long webinar, but I got a little excited. But again, if there are more questions, if maybe something that you want to come up that's more specific to your law firm, feel free to email me. Like I said, I'm always available. Well, before 4, because I'm not trying to work at 9 p.m. I don't think anybody is. But I mean, it is National Coffee Day, so if you do hit me up that late, I'll probably be awake because of all the caffeine I'll be consuming today. So again, thank you for having me. Thank you, Leslie, for helping moderating. I hope this was very informational for you guys. But you know what? I have to go. I got a blast. Thank you for having me. Have a great day. Let me just close this out.